Hit Boy has been one of hip hop's most recent, consistent, and dedicated producers in the recent times. His catalog in regards to his production has been immaculate recently, and it's all thanks to his dedication and determination. This is way years ahead of what he has already experienced as some of the more highs and lows in his career as a producer. What is up, guys? Welcome back to Still Slaps. I am Shuby, your commentator today for music commentary. We're talking about Kanye West and Hit Boy. Now, recently, Kanye West and Hit Boy collaborated on a track when it comes down to production on this new track with Kanye and the Game called Easy. And unfortunately, this track from the production standpoint fell short, and it fell into more of the background noise of Donda production type beat scraps. And it's very, very unfortunate to say that, because Hit Boy has been really on a run recently, as I stated in the intro of the video, and it's been really a privilege to see his determination and his ecstatic presence on the production front come to life and be as strong as it is. I think this production in particular on this track Easy with Kanye and the Game is a step back, and it had me thinking, can Hit Boy be the producer that can make a difference in Kanye's recent trial and error when it comes down to the music? This track Easy with the Game and Kanye has been nothing short of a mess when you're talking about the content that Kanye approached and chose to deliver. And by no means, it's a very, very stressful situation that Kanye is going through, and it's emotional just toll on his mental state, on his already fractured mental state. I feel like Kanye, in this sense, when it came down to what he did on this track with the Game, it was very tasteless in regards to the Pete Davidson comments, and it just had me thinking in regards to the relationship that Hit Boy and Kanye can build to maybe further Kanye's inspiration from the days of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Now, I'm not saying that Kanye has to necessarily return to that era of making those similar type of beats. I'm talking about the cadence in which those records was made, the delivery in which those records were made, the production choices in which those records were made. It was a beautiful way of Kanye sculpting out his trials, and he did it in a way in the music where it spoke to very, very high volumes. Fast forward to today, and you get tracks like Easy. Easy is one of the very, very valid reasons why I'm afraid for this new Kanye record. Donda 2, if it's not going to be in the form of a Donda 2, possibly in the form of a new project. But Kanye is very much in a downward spiral right now when it comes down to sonically talking about his music choice, and I feel like this is where it can get a little shallow. I think that it's very, very dope that Hit Boy and Kanye were able to reconcile after the trial and error that they've been through in the past when it comes down to collaborations from earlier on in Hit Boy's career. The Negroes in Paris in particular, Hit Boy saw that he was not getting any publishing from those records, and it was a huge downfall in the sense of him not being compensated. But now that Hit Boy is at a high demand and has really just had this resurgence, I feel like Hit Boy is probably gonna be, in a sense, musically, Kanye's last hope. And I say that because Hit Boy has been on a run recently. His resurgence is inevitable when it comes down to his influence and when it comes down to him rising out of all the trials that he has had earlier on in his career. I think that it really just goes to show what he's able to do in the presence of greats like Nas, like artists like Big Sean as well. What he's really able to do when he gets a battery in these recent artists who have just been really on the same playing field, or possibly even elevated based off of what they see goes into Hit Boy's production. I think that this type of energy could be applied if Kanye lets it, in a session with Kanye and Hit Boy. Now, Kanye has stated in one of those videos where he was coming out talking about his issues with his children and obviously the Kim Kardashian situation, that he is in the process of working on a new album. Whether that's going to be Donda 2 or another self-titled album, it depends. But what I'm really thinking about here is, can this relationship with Kanye and Hit Boy turn the shift in the downward spiral of Kanye, specifically from the music standpoint? Because if we get anything like this easy track, anything further on, that's gonna really be the detriment, in my opinion, to Kanye's already established sound from Donda. He did a great job with Donda in certain areas, and I've made these comments before that he's definitely did find some pockets, and Donda had great moments. But then you had moments like Life is a Party, where it was very scatterbrained in certain areas. One half of it, Andre 3000's verse, was fire, and he was just, pouring his heart out. The other half saw Kanye really falling flat on the delivery and really bombshelling what Andre 3000 set up. I think this track with The Game was just that. The Game spat his verse, had some lines here and there, but what happened? Kanye came in and bombshelled it on the delivery with the nonsense that he spat. And like I said, I just want him to give this resurgence in the sound waves of the production a new take when it comes down to the emotional stretch that he's going to. Maybe he can't articulate this specific struggle in the ways that would be less without tack, like he did with Pete Davidson. And maybe that's just the ever more reason for him to step back. But worse comes to worse, Hit Boy, I think, is that last glimmer of hope. And I think maybe Kanye realized that, which is why they got together. Now, if it's just going to be a regurgitation of instrumentals from Donda 1, I think that's going to be a down slip in Hit Boy's career. And believe me, Hit Boy would have to do a lot more damage than that based off of the traction that he's already come up with and set. He's really got the ball rolling in terms of resurgence of his career. I do think that there would be a lot of damage that would have to be done before Hit Boy can fall to the ground with Kanye, particularly in talking about discussion of production. But what do you guys think? I wanted to shoot this video because it was on my mind, and I really do admire Hit Boy's work ethic, and it's very inspirational what he's been able to do in the span of the last few years in hip hop, and even well beyond that, what he was doing in regards to the Good Music team back in the day. What do you guys think? Do you think that Hit Boy can be of some assistance to getting Kanye to be pushed to a sonic superior standpoint, much of what we talked about earlier, to the standpoint of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, or something even better than that? Because I do think it is possible. Let me know in the comments below what you're feeling, guys. Thank you again for watching. If you're new, please subscribe, hit the like, and thank you again. This has been Shuby. Kanye, Hit Boy, still slaps.
That slaps.